We're very excited to be bringing you round 4 with Tanner on Jund Goblins.
Jund Goblins.
Against Nathan on maybe the modern deck that has been alive the longest. Boros Burn.
You know me. At heart, this is what I want to be playing all the time.
Yeah.
I love to see a good lava spike.
And it's like notably just the deck that doesn't really get pieces as we get Modern Horizons cards that we can still play.
If Burn is a role player, Modern is healthy. That's how I feel. Usually when Burn becomes the best deck, it is also followed by 2 or 3 weeks where it becomes not as good. Oh, we are here with the map.
Yeah. Looks like we're already got some gameplay here. I think our screen's trying to catch up, but it does look like a Goblin Guide had attacked and an Aether Vial had a counter on it.
Yep, we revealed the new Lord from, I think, the first Dominaria set. It's the Lord that gives +1/+1. So I believe you can all see at home what is happening. Unfortunately, we are having a slight technical difficulty. We will see the match in a moment.
Oh man, doing our best here.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're pretty sure that you can see, and we just can't see the game to tell you about it.
So I would expect this matchup to favor Burn.
Okay.
I would expect that.
Tell me a little bit about why.
Creature decks that don't kill as fast, I feel like and Goblins' combo with like Bogor Harbinger and stuff is easily broken up by like a bolt. So say something like Humans of Past. That was a much harder matchup for Burn. It was pretty close. And I feel like that Goblins has less tools than say a Humans deck. So we are getting set up here in one moment. Hope the match is going great. So we're probably talking about this, and I'm probably said all of that when Goblins is just destroying Burn or something like that right now.
Right? Yeah. There's the combo is happening.
Yeah, we're showing the Harbinger plus Kiki Jiki on top plus Snoop and Play type of thing. That is the combo. If none of you knew at home, and it's here we go. We are back. And I would say this. So it looks like we're on turn at number 2 here, turn 2 or 3. Okay. So it looks like we did pause gameplay.
Yep. Looks like somehow an ignoble hierarch was searing blazed as the game was being played here, probably turn 2, so that the Goblin Guy can connect, and Tanner has worked a Mog War Marshal into play and now activates Vial on 2, putting in a Horde Master, and going into what I believe would be his... So we have...
I believe...
4th turn?
Yes. Yeah. Based off of the Aether Vials.
Yes.
Is what you're basing that off of. So I think the Horde Master's pretty good here, and you're going to see a little bit of a combination here, is not paying the Echo cost and getting a free card here, as well as the Goblin.
Yes, triggering the Horde Master.
Yep. It is definitely an annoying card for Nick. It really says, not only putting pressure into play, but if you're going to have to kill my stuff, it's going to benefit me a little bit more. And we're going to tick both vials up to 2 and 3 respectively. However, not a lot of action left for Tanner. Only a Mog War Marshal, and I believe maybe that's a Sling Gang Commander. I stand corrected. That might be that is the best card of the matchup, for sure.
That makes
sense. Either that or a land.
So, revealing Cavern off of the Horde Master trigger, and then playing at Cavern from hand. Does Horde Master say that you can only cast Goblin spells?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, makes sense. And then it looks like Tanner passes, and Nathan's got a Boros Charm.
Yeah, all right, so the Noggin.
And Nathan untaps, draws a card, and will see what he wants to do with
Yeah,
his
I'd be
turn.
surprised if he would go to any creatures here, unless, you know, say he's flooded with them, or he has a bunch of 1-mana spells. The creatures aren't getting much better at this point, so he's going to go towards the Swift Spear and a Lava Spike.
Mhm.
So this will prompt some blocks. I do believe I did see a Mogwar Marshal hiding out by Tanner, so we're going to see some pretty profitable blocks, most likely. And Goblin Guy just staying home.
Like you said, probably some profitable blocks happening, so Nathan does not want to trade it off at the card disadvantage if, like, Tanner would draw a land.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, this attack doesn't look great, right? But I think your creatures are so bad at this point, I might have just, like, held back with both. And just use
Okay.
them as, you know, just to buy you time to play your burn spells.
Because it does look like Tanner is going to try to kill you with loaded up
Yeah,
goblins.
I think that's what's going to what's going to happen here.
Mhm.
But if I did see correctly, Tanner might have a Sling Gang lieutenant commander. See a lieutenant.
Yep.
And that is the best card in the matchups. You're going to be able to sacrifice any amount of goblins for 1 point of
Mhm.
life while also hitting Nathan for 1.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of British media, and I almost said lieutenant.
Oh,
It
lieutenant.
was really close.
Yeah. That's the better pronunciation.
You're right. Yeah. We'll see if we remember to use it.
I mean, we can, yeah, if you want to lieutenant around, we can lieutenant around.
Should we also use other British pronunciations? It looks like the players are sorting out a judge call. There might have been some confusion around the ordering of blockers.
We missed an echo trigger on our.
Okay. 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 We put the counters on the vial already.
Yep.
So that means we missed the trigger. Believe that the trigger should just go on the stack with the type of trigger that it is.
Yep.
A little warning.
A little bit of warning. I believe Tanner also drew his card too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pay. That's interesting. Okay. I do think even if Tanner doesn't have Sling Gang Lieutenant in his hand, that he still looks pretty good here, mostly because Nathan's on 2 lands. He's going to need an incredible hand to be able to kill him next turn. Say, like, drawing a land off the top, having 3 1-mana spells.
Yeah. So Tanner sending in.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mess around. I'm just playing this right now if we have it. And yeah, that this is lights out. There's no coming back.
Yeah. So this is a maybe a card that we might be unfamiliar with.
Yes.
Uncommon.
Yep.
From, I think, the first Modern Horizons?
Correct. Yep.
Nice. Yep. Awesome. 3 and a black for a 3/1?
Oh, no.
No? Is it a 1/1?
I think it's a 1/1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when it ETBs, you make the 2 goblins, and then it has an activated ability where you can sacrifice a goblin to gain a life, and each opponent loses a life?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and especially with Nathan being so constrained on mana here, you know, Tanner, I don't know what he could draw, really just maybe 10 lands in a row. It's something that ridiculous where he would have to lose this game.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. I do see a lot of 1-mana spells in Nathan's hand, though.
Yeah, he might have had a kill if it wasn't there. I see a bull, maybe another one.
Yeah. And just don't have that 3rd land to unload it. But like you said, the Sling Gang Lieutenant just means that wouldn't have gotten there anyway.
Yeah. And obviously we got a combo on board with the Horde Master, so we're going to be able to see a lot of cards as well. I think Nathan, unfortunately, has to just kill the Sling Gang, which he's going to do here. We're going to see a lot of response by Tanner here. Really, Tanner can just keep sacrificing cards until he sees like something like a Matron to find another Sling Gang Lieutenant. It's really good to have him play with the Horde Master.
Very true.
Yeah, the obvious one is War Marshal's going to hit the dust here.
So each goblin that Tanner sacrifices will raise his life total 1 and lower Nathan's 1. And he will also get to look and see if that top card is a goblin, and if it is, then he'll be able to play that until the end of his next turn.
Yep, the first card revealed is a Bloodstained Mire, so that is a brick. As we said before, can't play anything other than goblin spells. Oh, okay. I expected I would have sacrificed more goblins if I was Tanner. I think for the line that I said, is you probably have he has another slinging in his deck, right? I usually play more than
Well,
one.
that's a good question. There's exactly one more.
One more. Okay. Yeah, so I would have exiled a bunch of cards. You have 2 vials, 1 at 3, 1 at 4 here. So I would have just sacrificed, especially a lot of the goblins that are already tapped, for instance, and just try to find a matron or another slinging lieutenant or a ringleader, something of that effect. Also, just gaining more life is more appealing. And we're going to go off the Horde Master here, going to reveal a Kiki Jiki.
So
he's going to probably take that vial up to 5 in order to play that.
Well,
oh, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Because that card is not in our hand. That's where Vial wants the cards to be.
I feel like this game got kind of interesting now. Yeah, I would leave them there.
Not too much in our deck that's more than that, or yeah, just the Kiki Jiki. So Tanner's drawn after leaving the vials where they're at. Does look like a spell.
I like how Nate sequenced that turn too. Going after the Sling Gang as soon as you can, just to force the action. Because I think, we had a Trash Master.
Okay. Got it. We missed that got flipped.
Yep. So that's going to pump all the goblins. So this is still going to be pretty hard for Nate here. We're just going to be trading off with one of the goblins and taking a lot. Going to be taking 8.
We're still dead next turn without a piece of interaction or blocker.
Got a Searing Blaze. And a blocker. Okay. Oh, we don't have a land. That's unfortunate. I thought I saw a land hiding out there.
Absolutely. So I think that means we're on no outs for Nathan.
Yeah, I would agree. Right.
Oh, wait. Tanner's at 4.
Yeah.
There's 1 out.
I didn't realize he's all the way at 4.
Yep. Exactly 1 out. No! Look at the card!
I feel like we had life totals wrong.
Okay. You think so?
I think so.
Yeah. Or maybe the goblins were just big enough. Maybe Tanner was just
so
like...
he blocks Trash Master and another one and took... I thought he took 3 goblins worth of damage, if I do
which
recall.
would have been 6.
Yeah.
And I thought it was actually 4, which would have been 8. So, yeah, he wouldn't have been dead. Got it. We believe that we probably missed life totals just fixing our zoom and making sure that we had access to that. So Nathan was probably dead on the attack there.
So going to the sideboards here, let's look at the interesting deck first, the Jund Goblins deck. So got 4 ley lines, don't want those, don't want any Blood Moons. Tarfire, maybe. I think the home run is 2 more copies of Sling Gang Lieutenant. We got another copy of Goblin Trash Master. Probably don't want that one either. Mass Vandal, maybe. Only for, Eidolon type thing. Maybe you want this card on the draw, I would say.
Yep.
I don't think I'd be too interested on the play. Maybe you just put in your deck in general because
you can tutor for it. Yep.
And then we have a Squee Dubious Monarch, which looks like that's for the grindy matchups,
Yep, one of those. Yeah.
So expecting 2 Sling Gangs and a Mass Vandal coming in here, maybe cutting like say a Kiki Jiki. You still want to keep one in your deck for the combo potential, and maybe a Trash Master or something like that.
I also wouldn't be surprised if the Tarfires end up in the deck.
Yep.
I don't think we have too much of a creature issue because we're flooding the board with our own goblins, but I think that is like having an Eidolon that actually impacts how you can cast spells, or a bunch of goblin guides without a fast battlefield from you. Like those are kind of how you lose to burn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just cut those for maybe Munitions Experts, just a worse Tarfire in this matchup. So maybe we just do that.
Right.
Going over to Burn. This is my home. I love just looking at Burn deck lists. So we've got 3 Rolling Vortex. Not maybe. If you're really, it's compatible with Sling Gang because they have the way Vortex work is you still have to activate it. It's not like a static effect that says you can't gain life.
Right.
So you can really maneuver around it pretty well with Slinging Lieutenant.
Mm.
Lieutenant. Two Deflecting Palm, which I would not expect because of doing a bunch of little chips. Two Exquisite Firecraft, don't want those either. 2 Core Firewalker, like, sure. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
but probably not actually what the game is about.
I agree, yeah. 2 Path to Exile, could see those as well. 2 Sanctifier Invec. Not really interacting with the graveyard that much, so it seems like just like a pretty much a worse core Firewalker unless you value the pro black. 2 Wear Terror, also not too interested in those, I think, either. So not really a lot of home runs here from the burn sideboard.
Yeah, agreed. Really just trying to hit our land drops and empty our hand before the Goblin deck can do its thing.
Yeah,
So-
and I think this is really just this matchup as whole shaped around is a Slinging Lieutenant. So
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
not really a lot of like you don't see like a flame break, that's the one I used to play, volcanic fallout, some sort of pyroclasm that hits them too.
Yeah.
I don't see any of that going around because there's not a lot of creature decks right now either. I think Nathan is definitely correct to not play any of those type of cards, but that is the type of card he would want here, but it is not present.
Whip Flare. I feel like that was the one that I usually had in my sideboard when I needed it.
Is that two to players?
No.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
cheaper.
the ones I like.
You're right. You're right.
I just like hitting them too.
It's just cheaper.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
mean, yeah.
Huh.
You're a red mage as well. This is the red mage booth here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are both lava spikers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a team open champion.
Team open champion.
Lava spiker.
Wow.
I'm just a humble spiker.
I think they weren't actually called opens. I think if I need to be like very accurate here, I'm a team SCG con open champion, Yeah. I didn't actually win in the good era,
Who cares?
I agree. The trophy's still amazing.
Is it just a trophy on your shelf? Like
the shelf just isn't set up yet.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm moving in tomorrow.
Okay.
Give me a little time, Potter.
Yeah.
It'll get there.
All right. The trophy's still here. It doesn't matter how hard or easy it was. He's still got a trophy. So we see Nate mulling to 6 here. Mullins mulliganing. That's a name you really want to have when you're playing Magic the Gathering, I suppose. He wants to. Is there a name that sounds like Keep 7? that's the name that I want to have.
I think it's Cameron Lantz.
Okay. Yeah. You keep 7.
That's how you win trophies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Keep
Thank
7.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Mrs. keeps 7.
Nathan tucking a card away and getting started with a suspended Riftbolt.
Yeah, I just do you just look at a burn hand and you just look at it and you're like, I'm home, Do you get that? Do you
no, I don't.
Okay.
Burn is what I bring to a tournament when my brain can't actually figure out how I want to win.
Oh.
And then it's just like, okay, like I've won with these before, so this works.
Oh, it's like your backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is my. I hate that I care too much. I wish I could just be still a red mage, just slinging it, like barely making top 8 and losing the first round of top 8. That's where I want to be back to. That's, or just losing in general.
Yeah. I think I will like probably always stand by Burn as like an amazing team tournament choice. But yeah, I do not usually like to bring it like because like you said, it's very good at getting you to top 8, that like nice 4-2 X11 record, and then
you run into John Gosti as 4 Kai's Gals in his sideboard, and it's like, what the heck?
The person who made top 8 either knew that they couldn't beat Burn and planned to dodge it, or they're prepared. So you get got.
So Wear Terror did come in for Ether Vial. So, which I don't think I am the hugest fan of. How about you? Yeah.
I think this is one of the reasons why I would like wear tear isn't you're out to Leyline of Sanctity, but I just usually say that I'm gonna lose the Leyline of Sanctity, and then I'm smashed to smithereens my opponent's vial, and it's amazing.
I'm usually in the same boat. I'm a smash to smithereener, not a
Mhm.
wear and terror.
Mm-hmm. If you run into too many Leylines of Sanctity, you're just not gonna win with burn.
Yeah,
like,
you're just
like,
gonna
yeah,
lose,
like you just gotta know what you're beating.
Yep.
But Tanner played a Mogwar Marshal, sent it back to Nathan. Nathan played an Eidolon, and we are in Tanner's upkeep with the Echo Trigger.
It's going to go to the bin, so we're likely going to see an Eidolon trigger. Because that means Tanner wants to cast something instead of paying that Echo.
Mm-hmm.
I just get in these modes when I'm playing burn. I just see an Arid Mason. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a free one. Come on, go to the graveyard. Get a Shockland. You have Blood Crypt.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tanner not as pressured to do that here. Like the colored spells that he would need to cast would be Goblins, which we can cast off of our secluded courtyard. So our fetch land really only needs to get a mountain.
Truly unlucky. Yeah, that's a mountain.
Look, you can cheer for Nathan all you want, but I want to see more, like, the things that this Goblin deck can do in the face of interaction. I want to see it do well, so we get to see that throughout the day. Because
yeah, I agree. You know, this deck I thought I would write off personally, just because there's the presence of Fury. Like I don't know how this deck's scam matchup is and things of that nature, but if people aren't playing Fury, this deck can grind very well.
Yeah. Which there was a decent amount of scam in the room, but I think other than the scam decks, there was a surprising lack of Fury.
Yep.
So dodge that one matchup, and
that's 2 points.
Oh, triggering Eidolon. Really, really wanted that vial, so that
Yep.
And this makes that the wear on the vial look a lot better, because
2 more.
now that the wear is sort of responsible for 4 points of damage.
Yep. I don't think I'm still a big fan of how Nate sideboarded, but I am a fan of how he played this game.
Yes.
Is killing that vial and then playing the Eidolon, forcing all of these Eidolon triggers. Getting 4 points in this matchup off of an Eidolon is honestly excellent.
Yep.
I saw a Searing Blaze hiding out. So maybe that Snoop is going to get Searing Blazed. I play Swift Spear first. Get busy.
And I believe Nathan did take 2 from the Sacred Foundry, getting the landfall trigger.
And Nate's going to be taking probably 4 here himself. Yeah, we're going to see the Swift Spear.
Yeah, but we know, not a big deal.
No.
We're the ones set up with our Eidolon, so.
And I like doing this too because, like just playing an extra creature out, because the card you lose to all the time is Slinging Lieutenant, as I've been saying 70 times, and you just want to clear up the board as much as you can and pressure the life total past that. So rather forcing some blocks, or just making them very low to make the Lieutenant a little bit less impactful. But we're going to hold back with the Eidolon here, which I think I like. I think for like a turn, I like this before the Aether Vial gets to around 2.
Yeah,
it's really close.
It's so close.
It's really
so close, because it would mean that we probably get 2 more through with the Swift Spear. As you were saying, we really just don't want our opponent to have a board when the Lieutenant comes down, which is coming down right now. I think it's really close.
And part of the equation too of maybe attacking is maybe you don't want your Eidolon around for yourself anymore.
Yep.
Because you look at this board now. Okay, Lieutenant was played. What happens now? We have to kill it, which means we're going to take two more points from our Eidolon. And how good is our Eidolon past that point?
And Lieutenant here is going to gain, like, what is this? 1. So it's 2 life, literally, but if Nathan was holding up the pressure to cast spells, Lieutenant was actually gaining 3, 4, 5 life there.
Yep. And I think Nate's last card is a bolt. I probably would have gone after the lieutenant just immediately.
Mm.
With the vial, especially.
Yep.
So it looks like we have a Tarfire, a Mog War Marshal, and a Kiki Jiki. Believe those are the holdings. We're just going to cast the Mog War Marshal. That's interesting. The vial was a 2, correct?
I believe so. It
Okay.
looks like 2 to me. So yeah, we cast the War Marshal, triggering the Eidolon, and then Nathan responded to I believe the Eidolon trigger and bolted the Lieutenant. Or at least while the Mog War Marshal is still on the stack.
Yeah, I think Tanner got a little bit fancy here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was thinking, when I activate this vial, maybe Nate will, bolt in response. And maybe he'll be scared to not do so if I just play as Mog War Marshal and bluffs, say another Mog War Marshal, but I think it was a bit too fancy. And we're only gonna gain a life. Because I think with Tanner as well is you really have no incentive to play the Mog War Marshal this turn. I think that's the key to the whole thing. So you can just kind of keep this vial up.
Mm-hmm.
You drew a Swift Spear, which isn't great here.
Mm-hmm. We do have another draw land. Looks like we want to put the Swift Spear out there.
Yep.
Taking 2 from our own Eidolon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you attack with the War Marshal there right now. It's very close. Plus, I want to be able to bluff more spells next turn because we're going to be able to get 2 cards in our hand from drawing in our Fiery Islet. That is in play.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stomach trading a Swift Spear with a Goblin. I don't think that's where I want to be. But we are going to crash in. I think maybe this attack is more due to Nate really wants to get rid of his own Eidolon at this point.
Mm.
But Nate is empty-handed, so...
And I think leaving 1 back so that we're not dead to a Lord, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's still all attack or no attack. Maybe you think that Tanner doesn't attack at all if he doesn't have a Lord. But I think he still would. Possibly.
At least with some number of goblins.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the interesting thing here in this spot too is what does Tanner do with this Tarfire? Does he actually want to take 2 off this Tarfire, or does he just want to get the Eidolon off the board through creatures? Which I think he's going to favor Tarfire on the Eidolon based on these blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that's the case, I would just quad block the Swift Spear.
Yeah, I definitely like blocking the Swift Spear with more than 2 goblins.
Yeah.
In case that's the card on top is a spell.
Looks like Tanner didn't even pull a trigger on the Tarfire. I think that's his card in hand. Got a Rift Bolt.
In the suspend zone.
Yep.
Exile zone. So then I believe we're passing, and Tanner's having a nice think.
Yeah, I think at this point I don't want to use this Tarfire at all.
Yeah.
I think what I would prefer out of Tanner this turn was just blocking the Eidolon and just saving the most amount of damage, just blocking both and using the Tarfire down the road. Because I just don't want Tarfire to trade for 2 damage to my face.
Yep. I do like the observation that opponent's empty-handed and you can trade a goblin for a prowess creature if a spell doesn't get cast, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't like Nate's attack very much. He would need to draw a 1-mana spell that's an instant off of the Islet. So I think, honestly, if I'm him that turn, I might just help back with everything. And I think we missed another Echo trigger, it looks like. Possibly. So we'll get that sorted out. I
Mhm.
still think outside of Tanner playing another lieutenant that Nate's in a decent spot. A lot of cards could turn this around very quickly though. Even a Lord is pretty tough for Nate.
Yep. Yeah, lots of different stuff. Is Tanner's not anywhere close to comboing though, right?
No, yeah.
Okay. Unless there was a Kiki Jiki.
Yeah, so
but I still don't.
yeah, I mean he could play it if he drew a land and then he would need a
The
Snoop
card?
and
Yeah.
then something on top, right? Is that how that works? Snoop needs the Kiki Jiki usually to be on top to combo.
Right.
Yeah, to
So
gain the abilities.
yeah, so you
So Kiki, yeah.
Yeah. Well, wow.
I think we're kind of far away actually because
Yes,
the Kiki actually
very
doesn't do
far.
a lot in play.
Yes. But there is a second one in the deck. Okay. So yeah, with the way that miss triggers work in Magic, so Tanner, we missed the Mogwar Marshal trigger. We acknowledged the Aether Vial trigger. That resolved. We've moved through the draw step. We're now theoretically in Tanner's main phase 1. So we call the judge, right?
Yep.
The judge is going to come over. What's happened? We missed this trigger. The judge is going to do a number of things. Figure out, whether they felt like the player missed it intentionally, unintentionally. Most of the time, it's going to be unintentional. And then it's just about making the game the correct state. And the Mogwar Marshal trigger is that it sacrifices itself to make, and then it has a dice trigger that makes a 1/1 goblin. So it's very impactful to the game where the Mogwar Marshal is at, and triggering it. And so it's actually probably good for Tanner if he doesn't have to pay the echo cost, right, on his Mogwar Marshal. So the judge is going to be like, well, we're going to resolve this trigger now because you missed it and it needs to go on this. It needs to be resolved. So we're putting it on the stack. And then Tanner paid.
Yep. We're going to see Rift will go to face. Nate will fall to 5. Tanner will fall to 4. And I smell a Boros charm. Come on.
That was a quick draw. Nathan definitely channeled it there.
Yeah, it wasn't a Boros charm.
There is definitely potential that Tanner gained extra information, but and that's something that it's the judge's job to think about when they are making the call, and Tanner would have gotten 2 warnings for missed triggers by now. They're more detrimental. Yeah, if we get multiple of the same warning, but
if he gets a third one of the exact same warning, he will get a game loss, unfortunately.
Yep. So
yeah, it's a lot up to the judge's discretion. We have a great judge here who can talk and see what the players are doing and their mannerisms and can make the appropriate ruling.
Most of the time, miss triggers are going to be a mistake when you're playing the game. It's the only actual intentional cheat, other than like some like light angle shooting judge manipulation things, like I've seen a player actually physically draw extra cards, but it's quite rare that a trigger will be missed in an intentionally favorable fashion.
Yep. So we do have a Kiki Jiki here, and I believe the life totals are 5 to 4. I think Tanner might be at 4 and Neat might be at 5.
Okay. And that 5 mana 2/2 does not trigger Eidolon.
and it also doesn't look very good here. It's like, all right, we played our 5-mana card, we know.
What? 5-mana 2/2?
Yeah.
Not good?
I mean, I have actually casted a Kiki Jiki and attacked with it immediately. I've made that play.
Nice. Love to hear it.
It is a very expensive Goblin guide. Looks like we got Swift Spear and an Arid Mesa. Ugh,
Yeah,
for Nate.
not great draws.
But he's still not out. I don't think I'm too interested in playing this the Swift Spear here, but being at 4 is a little bit precarious because you can't cast 2 spells.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely hold on to that Swift Spear unless you're quite literally about to die otherwise somehow. Tanner also has a bunch of huge draws. All of his 4 and 5 mana cards outside of Kiki Jiki are pretty good. Ooh. Okay.
Sending in Eidolon.
Yeah, this is why I don't like this attack, is we can... Oh, can it not copy tokens?
I think it can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't like this attack because... I liked this attack before because you get the 1/1 off the table and actually does a good bit more. Now you're just not doing a whole lot.
Yep. Tanner's got the same number of attackers and blockers.
And I think if I'm Tanner, if I'm on nothing, I'm just sending everybody. Because that puts Nate... Oh,
Forces
never mind.
either the block or the interact spell on a creature.
No, it's actually bad because then he could just potentially die on the crackback, kind of. So how does this work? Yeah, no.
Oh, I see.
I think it's still a good attack. So we block the 1/1. We take 3. We go to 1. We still can't cast a spell. We put Tanner to 1 if we attack, and we can't cast any spells. Yeah, this is a good attack.
Yep. Definitely want to make sure it's a good attack because a very close, careful game going on here.
This is a classic Eidolon game.
Oh yeah.
It just dictating every attack.
The original 2-drop that came down and made the game all about that 2-drop.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we have a Ren and 6 out here.
Fire your face. That is it. Yeah. Okay.